Now we have embarked on the last part of our topic on strain 4.2, which is a very interesting group of organic compounds called esters. Esters are a very special group of organic compounds which are responsible for their different fragrances, flavors, okay, whether it is a fragrance of a perfume, a fragrance of a flower, or that of essential oils. Esters are used in many different places, including the smell of different fruits. So all the flavors that are out there in the market, they are due to the special chemical called esters. Like for example, we have fizzy drinks which have different flavors added to them. Pineapple flavor, strawberry flavor, raspberry flavor, etc. etc. And these flavors are the different esters which are added to the product. Likewise, the different processed foods, they have flavorings added to them, like packs of noodles. They have special flavors added in them, chicken flavor, vegetable flavor. These flavors are also examples of esters. So here in the short video, we are going to be seeing how the different esters can be named and how you can draw the ester given the functional group. Looks like. An ester contains a C double bond O group sandwiched between two alkyl groups. Alkyl groups are those made of carbon and hydrogen groups. Okay, so now let's see which part of the ester is coming from the alcohol and which is coming from the acid. This particular part is coming from the carboxylic acid. Okay, so that is the carboxylic group. The carboxylic acid has lost the OH group. And this group, which is written at the end, is the alcohol part of the ester. This alcohol has lost the H. Let's look at an example here. Now in this example, as you can see, it's an ester clearly because of the C double bond O group in the middle. And on one side, we have a 1 carbon atom group. And the other side, we have a 2 carbon atom groups. So let's see which is the acid and which is the alcohol part in the ester. Before we look into that, there is something very important we need to remember. When we name the ester, the name of the alcohol will end with YL. So this is the alcohol part of the ester. This alcohol is containing 2 carbon atoms. So the prefix we use is ethyl. Ethyl comes from the word ethanol. So the alcohol that is used to make this ester is ethanol. Then the carboxylic acid name is going to end with anoate. This is a carboxylic acid group. So 2 carbon atom is called eth, and then we put the suffix. So it will be ethanoate. Therefore, when we are writing the name of the ester, we will write the name of the alcohol first and then the name of the acid. Okay. So when we are writing the name, we write the name of the alcohol first and the name of the acid. When we draw the ester, we draw the carboxylic group first and then the group of the alcohol. So this particular ester is called ethyl ethanoate. Let's look at some more examples of naming these esters. So the first one, that is the alcohol group, right? Alcohol has lost the H, while acid has lost the OH. Now this alcohol is containing 2 carbon, so the prefix is eth. Eth becomes ethyl. And then we have a first part of the group, which is the acid group, containing 3 carbon atom. A 3 carbon atom acid is called propanoic acid. The propanoic acid will become propanoate. Okay. So now when we are putting the name of the ester, we are going to put the name of the alcohol first. So it will be ethyl propanoate. The second example, we have the alcohol consisting of 3 carbon atoms. 3 carbon atom alcohol is called propanol. So propanol will become propyl. And then we have a 1 carbon carboxylic acid. Meth is a prefix. The acid is called methanoic acid. So methanoic acid will become methanoate. Therefore, the name is called propyl methanoate. To draw an ester when the name is given. So when we are drawing the ester, we are going to draw the acid part of the group first. In this example, the acid is a methanoate part, while the alcohol is the ethyl part. Methanoate means one carbon. Okay, so we have one carbon which is attached to the alcohol part. So we draw the functional group. Acid part is going to have the C double bond O, which is attached to the oxygen of the alcohol. The alcohol is having two carbon because it is ethyl. So ethyl is the alcohol part, that means two carbon. So we draw the two carbons. And the rest of the bond will be occupied by the hydrogen atoms. So that is your ethyl methanoate. Okay, so this is the alcohol part, which is the ethyl group coming from ethanol, and that is the acid part, which is coming from methanoic acid. So it is called methanoate. Hence the name ethyl methanoate. So the physical properties of esters are, number one, let's look at their boiling point. Since esters are polar molecules, they have dipole-dipole interactions as the intermolecular bonding. Boiling points are, however, lower than that of carboxylic acid and alcohol. And the reason for this difference is because esters are polar, they have permanent dipole, while carboxylic acids and alcohols contain the OH group, which means they have the ability to form hydrogen bonds in water or hydrogen bonds with each other. Solubility in water. When the esters are smaller, they are going to be soluble in water. But as the esters get bigger, the non-polar group of the ester will increase. Hence, the solubility will decrease. Now, the reason why esters are soluble in water is because of their ability to form hydrogen bonds with the water molecule. So let's look at the example now. In this particular example, we have water molecule. This water molecule will be bonded to the oxygen of the ester. Okay. So now I want you to understand something very important here. Why is the boiling point of ester lower even though it can form hydrogen bonding with water molecule? Now the reason is this. The ester contains a C double bond O group in the middle. This O is able to form a hydrogen bond with the hydrogen of the water. That is why it is soluble in water. But you can see that if this ester were to form a bonding with another ester molecule, then the O would not be able to form a bond with anything else. This oxygen needs a hydrogen to form a hydrogen bond. Esters do not have a hydrogen in the functional group. So esters cannot form hydrogen bond between each other. And that is the reason why their bonding is permanent dipole, not hydrogen bonding. They form hydrogen bonding only when they are in water with the water molecules. Okay, so now let's move on and see how esters can be prepared in the lab by the use of carboxylic acids. So when carboxylic acid reacts with the alcohol in a reversible reaction, the products are ester plus water. This reaction requires concentrated sulfuric acid as a catalyst, which is also acting as a dehydrating agent. So the alcohol is going to lose the hydrogen atom, while the acid is going to lose the OH group. Normally, we see that acids donate a proton, but in esterification, the acid is going to donate the OH group because there is a far more detailed sequence of this reaction. Okay, The reaction is not as simple as what we are discussing at year 13 level. It is far more complicated because there are a lot of changes that take place in the carboxylic acid, which makes it lose the OH group. So we will just stick to the basic logic here, that the alcohol is losing the H and the acid is losing the OH. So together the H and the OH will form water. Now when we are drawing the ester, we are drawing the acid group first. So the acid group is having two carbon atoms. There is a double bond O, but this particular bond that has been broken is now going to attach to the oxygen of the alcohol. So we draw whatever things are remaining. First carbon is having 3 hydrogens, so we just draw them as it is. Now let's join this carbon to the oxygen. So this is the oxygen that is going to come in, attach itself here. That oxygen is coming with the carbon atom. So 1 carbon and 3 hydrogen atoms. So this is how your ester looks like. When you name this ester, you name the ester by looking at the number of carbon in the alcohol. Okay. So there are 1 carbon atom. This is 1 carbon atom. Okay, this is the alcohol part. Alcohol part containing 1 carbon is methanol, which becomes methyl. Then this is the acid part. 2 carbon atom acid is ethanoic acid, which becomes ethanoate. So the name of this ester is methyl ethanoate. So we have the methanol, ethanoic acid, giving you methyl ethanoate plus water as a byproduct. It can also be prepared by reacting alcohol with the acid chlorides as well as alcohol with acid anhydrides. The basic principle is the same. Alcohols will be losing the hydrogen group, while the acid chloride will be losing the Cl group. So together the H and the Cl will form HCl as a byproduct. Now when we are drawing the ester, we will be drawing the acid part first. So that is the acid part, which contains a 2 carbon. This has been drawn there. Now this particular carbon is going to join with this particular oxygen here to give you an ester. Okay, so that is coming from the alcohol part. Now ethanoyl chloride will become ethanoate. Ethanol will become ethyl. So the name of this ester will be ethyl ethanoate. Next, let's see how esters can be made using acid anhydrides. Recall that acid anhydrides are made from 2 carboxylic acid. So one more time, this is the group of the acid anhydride that is going to come out, and it is going to combine with this hydrogen here. So this alcohol is going to be losing the hydrogen, and that hydrogen will combine with this particular oxygen to form ethanoic acid. The group is now going to form the ethanoic acid. Remember, this H is coming from the alcohol. So now what are we left with? We are left with this particular group here. Okay, so we will be drawing that particular group, which is this group here, as first. Acid group is drawn first with the alcohol. So this is the alcohol group. So the alcohol group is now going to attach itself like this. Okay, that's the alcohol group, and that is the ethanoic acid group. So you can see how the ester has been made. So the methanol group is going to become methyl. The ethanoic acid from the ethanoic anhydride will become ethanoate. So methyl ethanoate. Last up, we are going to be looking at some examples of the reactions of ester. Ester reaction is the opposite of esterification, which is a formation of ester. So when esters react with water, it's called hydrolysis reaction. Hydrolysis can be carried out using acids, and in this process, the bond between the alcohol and the carboxylic group is broken. So the acid and the alcohols are now separated out. this water, which contains the H plus and the OH minus, is now going to attach itself to the different part of the ester. So this is the carboxylic acid group. This carboxylic acid group is going to pick the OH group. So it becomes the CHOOH group, which is the methanoic acid group. Then we have the acid part where the oxygen is going to pick the hydrogen and it will form ethanol, which is the 2 carbon that is coming from the ester. Okay, so when we write, this is how the reaction is written. In this case, the sulfuric acid is acting as a catalyst. Okay, so esterification is one reaction where alcohol reacts with carboxylic acid, but the reverse of esterification is known as hydrolysis, where the ester is broken down again with water into alcohol and its respective carboxylic acid. And then the next type of hydrolysis is using an alkali. This is where sodium hydroxide is reacted with the ester. So when sodium hydroxide is reacted with the ester, this is what happens. The bond that is formed between the acid and the alcohol group is broken again, and the acid part of the molecule is going to get the sodium methoxy group. Okay, so this is the group that is going to come and attach itself, the NaO group plus ethanol as a byproduct. Now the advantages of using alkali hydrolysis over acid hydrolysis are that in alkali hydrolysis the reactions are single. That means the products are formed, those products cannot break down again to give reactants. So the reaction goes to completion and it is easier to separate the products. When hydrolysis of an ester is carried out using an alkali, that process is known as saponification. Saponification is a process where in ancient times soap making was very much prevalent. So the word saponification actually comes from the word soap. Okay, soap making involves hydrolysis of an ester using an alkali, and in that case the ester is the fats which is coming from coconut oil. The alkali is the sodium hydroxide, which is caustic soda. The products formed are salt, which is the soap molecule, as well as glycerol, which is a type of alcohol. So students, I hope you have enjoyed the videos of organic chemistry as much as I have enjoyed teaching them. And also you have noted down some of the very important concepts that we have discussed throughout the lesson. Go through your work one more time so that you are able to recap all the information that is in your notes as well as the ones that are discussed in the video. Take care, students. Bye.